by the Ghana Education Service, which is pledging its commitment to ensure that all public schools have access to good toilet facilities. You know, when women go through their menses, it's something psychologically, they think that it is something they shouldn't talk about, even no matter how old they are. But it is something that comes naturally because they are women. So some of them find it difficult to dispose of the, how do you call them? Is it the sanitary parts? But the reality is that over the years, GES only talks about it. I don't see that collaboration between GES and the local assemblies to ensure that these schools are fitted with what they need. Many public schools here, even in Accra, the capital, do not have. And you can imagine what goes on. You remember some time ago, there was a conversation about the provision of sanitary pads to students, and it became a political issue. And as we speak, I think that conversation is still on. I support this cause because I have girls.
I do too. Because sometimes it comes, and for the first time, because you haven't seen it before, you don't really know what to do or what not to do. And some are actually shy to tell
what was your first experience?
Well, it's been a while.
No, feel free. You are, people are watching. You are educating them. Yes,
it's been a while.
Oh.
It's been a while.
Just 15 years ago.
Excuse me?
Okay, Yanko.
On the back page of the Business and Financial Times, the Ghana Commercial Bank shareholders to enjoy 25% increase in dividend. AGI has also launched the 10th edition of Industry and Quality Awards. Guess who is winning some? Quick Angel's CEO wins big at 11th Entrepreneur and Corporate Executive Awards. Minim said, time I reading newspaper, said the president will ensure that investment is properly taken care of now. Oh yeah, no, I knew. Let me show you so that you make your own reactions as well. This is the beautifully decorated private jet that our president hired. 1 hour, you can see the price right there. So, as a Jamaican would say,
£15,000.
Exactly.
See, I deliberately pulled the pictures Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa shared on his Facebook post. I would plead, if we have it, we'll show it on the screen. But I want to read a few paragraphs. So there it is on the screen. Now it says that the lawmaker from North Tong in the Volta region accused the president of spending a whopping 2.8 million cedis on his recent travel to France, Belgium, and South Africa. And these are 3 countries. He spent 9 days. And according to Okudzeto, I listened to him on several radio stations that the president in total, the total flight that cost the nation 2.8 million cedis was just 23 hours. 23 hours in the air, that is the amount. Now, let me give you more details as quoted from the revelation in Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa's post. It says that the president left Accra for Paris on May 16, and then from Paris to Johannesburg and back to Accra, and on May 25th, accumulating a total of 23 hours, amounting to a colossal £345,000. Then he goes ahead that it's an outrage and blatant betrayal for Ghana to own a presidential aircraft in perfect working condition, yet we abandon it and go to hire a jet. Now, this is the detail of the jet. It says the aircraft in issue is less than 2 years old and had only returned from Switzerland, where it received the highest luxurious spruce up ever known in the aviation world, just before President Akufo-Addo chose that particular luxurious monster, adding that the jet can take up to 150 people in ordinary circumstances. However, it has been configured to accommodate only 17 royal passengers. The spectacularly opulent aircraft comes with or equipped with a lavish master bedroom, an imposing ensuite, is that the word? Bedroom, and then monarchical dining facilities and round-the-clock IT connectivity. So that's it on the screen, and I believe that the government will be responding. He has filed an urgent question in Parliament, and he expects that the Speaker of Parliament will find a date for the Defense Minister to come and answer questions why the presidential jet is sitting down and is in good condition, and we are chartering flights that is costing the state so much.
I mean, even if it was in bad condition, couldn't we have gotten a cheaper alternative?
You see, 2 things. You remember some time ago, the president traveled to the US and we heard that the jet developed some fault and so on. I don't know whether it was a decoy so that they can dump it and use or go for the chartered flight. The other one would be if we bought the presidential jet at so much a cost, you know, it became a political issue and we just leave it to follow. Exactly. I know the vice president uses the presidential jet and other top government officials and even prominent chiefs sometimes go for it. And so if it is sitting there and we are spending so much, and you remember before COVID-19, it was just a common knowledge that every 2 weeks or 3 weeks, the president would travel outside the country, go on 5 nations. So the last one was when he came through Norway and so on, that COVID was recorded in Ghana and he stopped. He started again. He went to Spain, came back, he went to Uganda and gone to France, Belgium, South Africa, and I think 2 days ago he was in Nigeria. So I don't know whether he started the traveling spree, and that is why the cost of the hired or chartered flight should be of concern to me and everybody who is a Ghanaian.
Eric, even if it's not, you know, as much as he's been traveling, this is a concern. This is luxury. Your president's on pay. The
Inquisitor on its front page says shipyard boss fired and minority leaders clash. These are captured on the front page of the Inquisitor newspaper.
All right, so finally the Chronicle. Do you still have more?
No, go ahead,
okay. Now the CID denies investigating the national security. Also, Kumasi Municipal Assembly boss in hot waters. Now, party juggernaut scramble for his post. China can't threaten Ghana's cocoa production. We've heard that China now is producing cocoa and Ghanaians are feeling threatened by it. But apparently, we shouldn't feel that. Now, it says that Timothy Sena David releases something. And then who wins the Champions League tomorrow? My bet is on Chelsea. Betway.
I don't like football. The first time I saw Michael Essien and Philly was when I fell in love with Chelsea. Since then, I just like Chelsea. Meanwhile, I don't know even one player's name.
No, usually I support Man U, but Chelsea, this trip, I saw my idea. My bet is on Chelsea.
Then you don't like football. If you can change just like that. Charlie, we'll be going for a break. When we come back, PSCA will join us with the news.
The average human body mass should have at least 60% water for optimal performance in any physical or mental exercise. We can help you maintain it naturally. X Natural Mineral Water. Simply natural. Peace of mind is very essential in your journey to success. For Akwesi Papa, peace of mind means having a proper covering over his family. Literally. For Araba, aka Injection Mama, it's about having the funds to complete her advanced nursing course. And as for Corporal Odami, it's as simple as reporting on time for his shifts. Sometimes all you need is a simple push. At Needs Microfinance, we have tailor-made loan packages for salaried workers under the Controller General's Department. With the low interest rate and quick wahala-free process, you are guaranteed of a timely solution to get back that peace of mind, literally in 30 minutes. Needs Microfinance. Growing with you.
Good morning and welcome to Xyz News in brief. Shortly, we'll be telling you why Northton MP Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa has taken on President Akufo-Addo over his renewed trips and the huge cost to the state at a time he's begging for debt forgiveness. Also, cases held at government has emboldened Operation Halt Task Force ban more excavators. Details and why small-scale miners suspect an ulterior motive coming up, and also National Labour Commission directs striking medical laboratory scientists to end nationwide strike. My name is PSA Okra. Thank you so much for joining us here. Now, let's start with MP for Northton Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa has taken on President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo over his renewed pleasure trips at the expense of the state at a time he's begging for debt forgiveness. Mr. Ablakwa's concerns comes after it appears to be the resumption of a practice before COVID-19 pandemic that forced President Akufo-Addo to stop traveling abroad.
President Nana Akufo-Addo, who returned from a 9-day trip to France, Belgium and South Africa on Tuesday, traveled to Nigeria yesterday. In March, he was in Spain for the Focus Africa 2023 conference, and he was in Uganda for the swearing-in of President Museveni. MP for Northton, in a Facebook post, said the president, who has imposed additional regressive taxes with a justification that the economy isn't in good place, is failing to lead by example. He described as betrayal of past regimes President Akufo-Addo's choice of top-of-the-range luxury aircraft offered by Acropolis Aviation, owned by Acropolis Aviation based in Fandorf, UK, and registered as GKELT. The chartered Airbus AC-J3201, according to Mr. Ablakwa, is the most luxurious and most expensive in the Acropolis fleet. He said, quote, "The manufacturers described it as the most outstanding ambassador for Airbus corporate jet. It cost the Ghanaian taxpayer approximately £15,000 an hour when President Akufo-Addo rents it. The aircraft in use is less than 2 years old and had only returned from Switzerland, where it received the highest luxury spree-up ever known in the aviation world just before President Akufo-Addo chose that particular luxurious monster. The jet can take up to 150 people in ordinary circumstances. However, it has been configured to accommodate only 17 royal passengers. The spectacularly opulent aircraft comes equipped with a lavish master bedroom, an imposing ensuite bathroom, monarchical dining facility, and around-the-clock IT connectivity. He said the recent 9-day trip to France, Belgium, and South Africa cost the state a staggering 2.8 million cedis. He concluded, aviation experts say it would have cost Ghana less than 15% of this amount if the president, Nana Akufo-Addo, opted for Ghana's aviation presidential jet, which is in pristine condition.
And let's stay a bit on financial issues. The Minister of State at the Finance Ministry, Mr. Edu Boahen, has hinted that government is considering borrowing $1 billion to help fund some projects in the education sector. We have more in this report.
Minister of State at the Ministry of Finance, Charles Edu Boahen, who spoke to Bloomberg News, says the $1 billion targeted shall be raised through the sale of sustainable bonds, including Africa's first social debt, to fund what he describes as a flagship policy to broaden access to education. According to Mr. Edu Boahen, the proceeds will help refinance domestic debt used for social and environmental projects, including loans taken to fund the free SHS policy. Earlier this year, Ghana sold 4-year zero-coupon debt to international investors as part of a $3.25 billion Eurobond deal that also included 20 years, 12 years, and 7 years sureties. The plan comes in the wake of concerns recently raised by the World Bank president, David Wolpers, who cautioned Ghana against continuous borrowing and similar advice by the IMF. IMF, in its May 2021 Article 1V consultation paper after an assessment visit disclosed that Ghana's public debt as a percentage of GDP for 2020 was 78% and not 76.1%, as captured in the 2021 budget. Few weeks ago, the Bretton Woods Institution projected that Ghana's public debt is likely to take a nosedive and hit 81.5% in 2021, which means total debt stock will cross $300 billion from 122 billion cedis as of December 2016 and rise to 83.2% in 2022, 84.8% in 2023 and rise further to 86.6% in 2024.
Now let's move to some other stories. More excavators have been burnt after President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo justified the Operation Halt team of burning some excavators at some mining sites. And now the latest incident at Pristia in the western region is fueling more anger among small-scale miners.
This amateur video gone viral indicated the operation took place at Pristia, one of the major hubs of galamsey activities in the western region of Ghana. TV Xyz news sources say it took place in the early hours of Thursday. It attracted scores who watched helplessly amidst curses as the earth-moving machines succumbed to the flames. Some of those who owned the mining equipment could not help but pour out their frustration. According to them, the directive to the military tax to protect water bodies is to stop mining within 100-meter range. Water bodies, but that isn't what the task force did. Operation Halt, which has vowed to win the renewed fight against galamsey, has been given a boost by President Nana Akufo-Addo, who endorsed the burning of excavator yesterday. His remark has, however, been criticized by think tanks, Occupy Ghana, and Social Democracy and Development Dialogue Forum Africa. SDDF Africa, in a statement signed by Koku Maul Nenegbe, described as scandalous the president's statement, who it said should safeguard the law. It said the victim must hold the president and the Minister of Lands and Defense solely responsible for any financial loss. It reminded government of a pending $50 million judgment debt yet to be paid for similar callous decision.
And now, small-scale miners have reacted angrily to this development after President Akufo-Addo endorsed the burning of excavators. According to them, the mode of operation by the Anti-Illegal Mining Task Force is an agenda to kick Ghanaians out of the mining industry. Now, let's move on to the line and speak to the president of the Small-Scale Miners Association, Michael Pepra. Thanks so much, sir, for joining us this morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Michael, why do you suspect that you have been targeted if you know that you are doing a genuine business?
First of all, the minister brought about the modus operandi of the operation. He said that anybody who is mining in the forest reserves and then anyone who is found mining in the various water bodies. But as we speak now, it is taking place out of these zones the minister declared. And as a matter of fact, there are a lot of Chinese people who are working in our various forest reserves in this country, whose excavators have not been burnt. So we feel like this fight against Galamsey is rather for some targeted people, government want to clear them out of the mining sector.
You are being targeted because if you claim that you are doing a genuine business, why are you being targeted?
Because if we talk about the reason, I think nobody is supposed to be mining in the forest reserves, isn't it?
Sure.
But then we can speak on authority. Come to Kobro. There's a forest reserve called Apapaman Forest Reserves. As we speak now, Chinese people are mining with impunity under the protection of some state security. So then we only ask the question that are these Chinese, above the law, or are these Chinese better than we, the small-scale miners? Because we thought, this operation was only going to take place in the various forest reserves and on our various water bodies. But then we know for a fact, when you go to Chipumokwa, our member who has his requisite document, there is military went to his site, burned down all his excavators and destroy all his equipment. And then we went to the minister to ascertain, why those military were there to destroy those equipment. He only told us that, the military is supposed to just be burning excavators or anything they found outside. If they just go and then see any illegality at the various mining sites. But then we then ask the question, and we don't think these military men, are good in terms of mining. They don't even know how the licenses operate. They don't even know, the laws banning small-scale miners or the law that governs small-scale miners. So even if you get to somebody's site and the person is mining and the person is doing the right thing, I don't think this military will have the foresight to know or understand how mining goes about. So then we think that this approach or this burning of excavators is just an act to kick some of us out of business. Because why do you burn excavators while the law doesn't permit in burning those excavators?
Well,
They burn excavators, they burn bulldozers, and bulldozers are not used in mining. They are used for reclamation purposes. So we don't really understand what is happening. Because you can't use an illegal ways to fight, illegal problem.
So you are leading a group. Are you going to the court to seek redress over this matter?
My brother, we will try and go to the court, but then if you have destroyed my investment, I've gone to take loans that I need to service, and you destroy my equipment, and you tell me to go to court. How do I even get money to pay my legal representative? So ideally, you have been granted to ground zero, and you getting back on your feet to at least challenge what have been done to you would be a problem. So why do you then destroy my source of livelihood and you tell me to go to court? At least I can go to court, but the duration that I will be served or the justice will be served. Sometimes some people might be in prison by now. So why do you then shoot the person while the person is dying? You give the person a painkiller. This is what is happening to us.
All right, so let's end it here. Thank you so much for joining us. And that was Michael Pepra, who is the president of the Small Scale Miners Association. Now, staying a bit on that issue, Xyz News has also been speaking to the executive director of a think tank, Social Democracy and Development Dialogue Forum, and he's Koku Mauli Nanegbe. Let's listen to him.
The president's directive to all of us who are against the burning of excavators that we should go to courts to ask SGGDF Africa. It is ridiculous, it is insensitive, it is promotion of lawlessness and illegality. And we are so shocked that it is coming from the President of the Republic of Ghana, who is a lawyer, a trained lawyer as that. And you see, we are saying this because if you take the Mining and Minerals Amendment Act 2015, everything is explicit in that law, in particularly section 99 of that act, as to what we should do with seized equipment. that if those items are arrested or found in at a site of illegal mining, they should be seized and given to the police over a period of time. The minister is supposed to go to court and have the court confiscate those items or equipment to the state and give them to agencies responsible. And so to have the president give that directive, we are so much scandalized. But here is the point why we said we are much more scandalized, apart from the fact that the president is is a lawyer and is promoting illegality. If you check, there have been instances as we speak today where somebody has gone to court for destruction of mining equipment and has got a judgment debt of $50 million, 86 million Ghana cedis, arising out of the fact that his mining equipment have been destroyed in a site, and he has gone to court and got that judgment. And we are saying that, so as a state, if we are promoting illegality, what we are likely to suffer is double jeopardy. One, we will destroy people's equipment. The state will not benefit from those equipment, and at the end of the day pay judgment debt. Who benefits at the end of the day? The people, we, who are suffering because we are not getting the use for those equipment, and secondly, we are paying judgment debt. And in our estimation, because the president is preaching lawlessness, the president is preaching illegality, he and his appointees who are preaching this must be responsible. They are potential candidates for financial loss to the state in an event that judgment debt arises out of the burning of the excavators that we have said is an illegal act.
That's some worrying development, but let's move on to other stories. Now, let's hear ordinary Ghanaians on the renewed debate on the implementation of the free senior high school 4 years ago. These are residents of Awutu Breku in the Awutu Senya West District of the Central Region.
Because of the young school vicinity, Obi only Madekura also on school. How can Kosia share? Obi a secondary school, maybe we are form 4. Meaning, Madis then Pacono. Since the one school was discovered, when school is share. And say, oh, I offer was coming to man school fees. No, I cannot. I feel me how can say, for the class 1, every DSS, Sukuna said to the Biameka, Sukuna Basa, I buy say free education. They know how a year for me, some called one by year, on fast school. Teacher focus on several share, work a cake, the Panchapa, the Pancho, or the Baby, or any year. I'm out for my test. You who the man watch it, when your textbook won't share, and you're fine. Because in Pemani, you're not going your bra, so for you don't go here. Pemani, you're so to a feast and I won't fruit the wood here. But what's the way you do open and what you could be? And so, what is here to be about any books or any bags, any bag? I did only be what Tamano. Now, what's the BS free? Washes in my school. Stuff no power now. Okay, yes, Rabbi.
Because it's education assistant. Free, you know. I'm saying, I won't buy a day at your man, say, no, can you say do Satan? Say, so, the many real form for to me, you know, Cassette, may chain will be at Novo University and our university. They are pencil form for the piano in school, and the Sukwana yet than a sa. Say, free no, I may also, Uncle Anim Nemusa.
I've been there before. I was in Ostek, like, about 4 years ago. I was paying school fees, and it was good to pay school fees because now the way they are learning is some style additional and court say first na your time no na within a term na consist like 3 months. 3 months no at least we bet me their cover baby. But see, I know 2 months. See, I'm okay. 2 months from to finish up my friend. I'm fee. Want me see the paper? And to say, government na see into school fees. I'm ready to pay school fees. Okay. Maybe yeah, me so be new and obet me see ade. See, to school fees na boa bana say. We am say be fine. Say wa oba no de ohun say obet me na hon dey we say edu baby no okechi because so I'm just school fees na anje we ya of final school education and me fine. Oh, when disappointed Ghana, so jitu so obey no why be so. Abana wabo amagana pa na ye wo say ebi mu nibi na kamede akamen kwa aka na omo mu nibi kura no mo ye djuma no na kayembo.
Those were some Ghanaians sharing their thoughts on the state of the free senior high school program, and that is how we end the news here on TV Xyz. Always log on to my xyzonline.com for more news. Thanks so much for being with us. My name is PSC Okra. The morning update continues.
If I cry na menyisika, edia ye mefui.
Ehin fa na menya bosia, edia tre medwuma yimu.
Kai kra mabre, mi busia ato taxi fufu. Suhum Rural Bank.
Suhum Rural Bank.
Yemamwa kwa baba Suhum Rural Bank. Ye won hyehyɛ ahodoɔ bi te sɛ dwadifo abosia, ekokro bosia, susu account, eni daso wɔ hɔ savings account, me bada chain savings account, ene de keka ho. Suhum Rural Bank was 034229186. Na won so wetumi aka sɛ
Suhum Rural Bank ama ene mayeka una.
Suhum Rural Bank enti me pa minie.
Suhum Rural Bank, growing our heritage.
And I say, we say, dear, we in charge when you feel one casanca. Losing the layman capsules. A mouse is in go to my yet drink. I'll break you must have with Shankasanka. No, near.
So, Lawson Lotte, Mr. And let's see you. I'm always what if you want you're free to come to I say for semi boom down and see me, dear someone. Lawson Lotte, Mr.
Lawson Layman Capsule.
More your brain,
more and alarm. Lawson Lotte, Mr.
Lawson delay my capsules.
Do you know what you feel?
Delay man capsules and do if you do what they cronkwan and a low care mixture so a painful and my woman no for anyone I want if you do what train son can FD Ashisha sa a jedi and crater you aja to muse.
Welcome back. This is TVXYZ. Today is Friday. You know, Fridays we go light, but the issues bother all of us. Abuna kofa topic biaba. Abuna, what's he saying?
Should DNA testing be mandatory? Because I know men who are
mandatory for what?
For men to come to their wives and say, oh, me person me a DNA test. It's not that I don't trust you, but I want to be sure that the children are mine. Now the argument is that me pese bi ochina no akwala no be find out say me papa, then psychologically and you know all of these things it will affect the child. So I want to know if the child is mine from the beginning. But what I want the men to also understand and accept is that if you come to me as a wife, Eric, don't laugh.
Over talk, I'm listening.
If you come to me as a wife and you tell me say you want to have a DNA test, I need you to also understand that the foundation for that request is distrust. You don't trust your wife, and that's why you're asking for.
No man, no man will wake up, go to the wife, and say, Pepe say DNA test. There is always a causative reason, and that is why somebody. Let me give you
a typical example. One of the guys I know who have asked for the DNA testing is because in his environment, he doesn't even come from Ghana. In his environment, he's seen almost a jacket. There are women who are giving other people's pregnancies to other people. They look exactly like him, but he still went ahead to test. And I'm saying to him, look, for you to have gone ahead to test, it means that you don't trust the woman.
And that is why I'm saying that if the attitude of the woman, if whatever the man does is subject to suspicion, the man will go ahead. Let me share an example with you. My wife is very fair, very, very fair. And my first girl is black like charcoal, okay? But she looks like the mother, but her features look like me. Thick lips, and there's always a mark here. My two other children are very, very fair. One doesn't have dimples, but the boy has dimples, the diastema, everything like the mother. And I see everything in them that suggests so. My wife hasn't done anything for me to be suspicious. So what would make me assume that my first girl, because it cannot happen like that. So women who do anything that will raise that suspicion are the same people who force men to suggest that
but Eric, you agree with me, sir. So if your spouse comes to you and says they want to have a DNA test, it's because they don't trust you.
No.
And they should be ready for whatever reaction that comes along with it, because you have been faithful to this man. Now all of a sudden,
does it happen, does it happen that women go behind their husbands?
Oh, Eric,
does
I
it
know,
happen?
dear. I know, dear. I mean,
It
we
happens.
are human. It happens,
It
but
happens.
not as much as
So
men go
if it
behind.
is not as much, then is it also possible that it is not as much as it is assumed
Eric,
that
why are you
men
not
will be
answering
asking?
my question? Do you agree with me, say the foundation for asking for this is distrust? It means you don't trust the woman.
I've said it, and what I'm saying is that it is because the woman will do
I
something
wanted a yes
for that.
or no.
I've said yes.
Okay.
And can I speak?
Okay,
It
go
is
ahead.
because the woman does everything that makes the man. See, let me tell
It's
you.
not always the case.
When
That's
I was
you to
young
understand,
and I was
Eric.
going out, I loved the lady I was going out with. Everything was going normal. Till it got to a stage, something dawned on me that, look, it looks like something is happening. I did a few follow-ups. I had reason to be suspicious. Then I triggered what I was doing to another level. Then I found out. Even when I found out and I asked the woman, she told me in the face that it is not.
It is
true.
not so.
Until listen,
hold that
until
thought.
the
Hold
girls.
that thought. Eric, hold that thought. Please, we also want to know your opinion. If your man comes to you and says, I want to have a DNA test, when you know that you have been thoroughly faithful to this man, won't you get angry? And shouldn't the man be ready for whatever reaction that comes when they ask for that request? Please, we'll put the phone lines on. The ones we put it there, please call in and let us know your views. Media may say, and I know I have been faithful to you, Eric. All hell will break loose because it means you don't trust me. And it's painful, like it hurts.
When you see ladies calling me at odd times, would you be suspicious? If you are suspicious,
I'm already suspicious.
If you are suspicious, what would be your reaction?
Not really.
I've turned it round and you see that you are dangling.
Eric, me catch you say.
You see ladies calling me at odd hours. Would you react? What would be your reaction? And when you are suspicious, what would you do?
I will not go ahead and make certain accusations.
Phone calls,
they are okay. Eric, they are okay.
Phone calls. Phone calls, ni DNA, ni ebeso ahomachin benyin wada no net na hall na fefe no phone mu. Only phone call DNA. So yes, ni DNA is what the man would do.
Eric, they are I say as I make her own temasio. I say only bema at every crowd musha ne be what struggle now you've made money, you have children, and out of the blue or by you say akosia nkwala me person me check say omo mediana. Wouldn't you get angry? I would. I will be like I will go ballistic because and that's what you don't want to understand now happen.
And I mean so me say uhu say oba frefre me anadwo. If you trust me, don't be worried. You understand me? If I'm in the toilet and I'm making a call, don't be suspicious because you should trust your husband. Is that fair?
Say sometimes something can be happening.
You're not answering my question.
Me answer. Sometimes something can be happening around you. And based on that, only obite. Now, why doing? Our mind plays a lot of tricks on us. You will just assume that, what is my guarantee that this other person hasn't done it? And I make sure earlier on say,
Abna, we are taking it light, but it's a serious issue.
It is.
Let's hear somebody on the line. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
But Abna pedo on your casa. I don't know what topic na ba.
Me person me business sister Abna na Abna say.
Me passion meet you.
And me person me business na Abna say. Obi actually mo say officer oye DNA no. Ama wa ye ama. DNT a officer oye no. why achieve that result now? Me pese me who say ebia be man na suspect oba no. Omokoye test no. Na no kwese enye be man ba na ebi pen.
Yeah.
Ebi pen, but me so me nim bia wakoya enkola ne ye ne dia.
Nti aye 50-50.
Asemaba. Vacho consumiti o.
Nti abe 50-50. Nti man mudi no krema na. Yansi yan suspect mo. So, nti mudi no krema yen.
No kwani da yeji. Yeji pa. And I make us say enye na
okay,
that's it.
Bye bye.
Enye na man ye bibi. Obama bi wo ho a unsuspected ne yire no. But
okay, Abna, we saw line no do.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Bibacho kabi mame why? I feel that you're soliciting.
Funny na pon today.
Na mi adum bibacho na also.
Yeah, see. Na mi sha mu ni do pa mu ya mama Ghana.
Amen. Bibacho yes.
Ka se mu yo. On say na yo assembly say. On say all the time you see. Mami bia anaso baten bia na nim ni papa. As a matter of fact, maybe I know me all right. Yes, a bit and found say me all right. And then probably it's just enough and of a canoe. No cray. A blue one suspicious being happen. And Tina no my bemana day. Yes, sir. Because any normal said my best already. No, I can say, me correct.
Yeah, me so me be say ukoye DNA test no. Na se nkwala no wo dia oba no ni buti mi fu.
Oh, fine. Right, all right, send the buti mi.
Hallelujah. No,
all right, send the buti mi fu. No, 50-50. They say the minya ba kun dika. 50-50. All right, send the buti mi fu. Because typical example. I witness ama even kwampo obana nipa no turning chain ayo funu enyi ya okowe na abofa no ba out mama ni anti ni bisa ofowe bibida na bodu ntem ni papa ebi onibi ana ebi su ni ebusie ni no secretly ana anti ka asem no nti so this asem na and a be 2-3 and my whole fine person find out. But at the same time, a man be bro. But for the funny side, say sometimes I say the confusion be between. That is also come na over.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Munkabi mami o, Munkabi mami.
Johnny Nekate.
Yeah, Johnny.
Good morning. Madam Abra, what is saying?
Dami adumo, Pacho kabi mami o, untimi mbisa mi say to say I won't kabi mami.
Madam Abra, what's up with a very interesting foul?
Pacho mo anun koma me why?
Yo.
Pacho lo TV set ni mami why?
Yo, say unim say. Unye boni bia ye nese. So oni mi say unye boni bia ye nese ukru say opese oye DNA test e man kola no a u how ni thing. Na before answer na be ma be can say be request for secting no. Na je say I that say akola no ba ku ni ye no. Say papa no kra we bi no.
Na say nipa mienu na wo akola yo. Nipa mienu na wo
akola no so emu say akola we de ni ye no.
Kofi Baboni.
Kofi Baboni. Before say bibi sa be cause no. Let them say suspicion be about. Enti ma me chat right.
You know, sometimes too, it is good to know much about your family. If you have good knowledge about the family, go to the larger one. There might be some traits which be hereditary,
exactly
related, and so if you know it, there will be no reason for you to be doubt. Suspicious. Sometimes people assume that my wakwala is all semi, but which me wakwala or sewo nana bia na wunnim no. And so when people are not informed or well educated, sometimes they follow some of these trivialities and assume, and so you realize that these things happen. You can also have a child who may just adopt a certain behavior, very quiet or very, very active. If you trace Ebiana, if you
hello, good morning.
Morning.
Pacho Kavima me why? Pacho your first and I can say free.
Nanabra.
Papa.
Morning, Nanabra.
Me Pacho meet you.
Me Pacho Reverend Ima.
Oh, Reverend Ima.
Very good.
Oh, Reverend.
Yes.
Reverend. Reverend, Kavima me oh, Kavima me.
That's the me I will more kind of.
Hello, Reverend. Reverend Pacho Minka.
Nanabra, you only say, that's the way be about Manimbe almost 4 or 5 times.
Oh, wow.
Yes, mommy.
Okay. I shall say, TV says no, I know you're down low anima make a cry. You said, my feedback.
The woman is okay, the woman is okay. Yo,
Pacho, also.
Okay, the woman is that's the way be about my name before. Now the clear say before I obey my better job, I say yenko na menkoye DNA kwala na wa warm no. Mentia say yenko na menkoye DNA no. Which means that do who sign, who bibi.
Okay.
On to me sorry keke say or cause my ba me you know me no what for so many years. My sorry say me corner and kwala na me no wa no. Yenko koye DNA.
Reverend, me who be o or say obi
nka menyanka yenjai no na
on
share experience no kakra.
Okay, but share experience no kakra my why. Hello, Reverend.
Me what me too pa.
Intim Pacho case is not about him no explain be a train why.
But you say
me say case is not about him no explain kakra train why. They ever been at this year.
Yeah, it clearly said.
Unfortunately, we've lost him. But I think it just confirms that, okay, somebody's online. Good morning.
Oh, we've lost him.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Madam Akosia.
Abena.
The Kasafri Sotum.
Oh, okay. Pastor Moano from why?
Me wo Fabi or America. And then the company so invite Nemba Emra. Omukoye DNA na umbeform no ba kun ye ne ba.
Hey.
You see the problem. Ba kun ye ne ba. And moreover no so. So oba kofa yin sen nye be ma ne dia. Oba be ma na be hwe nkwala no. Ba be ma de konyim oba fufo obebi a. Eno no nye oba na responsibility. So, Yami cannot answer. My wallow na say, the note in our confinement. Let's share crown from the one at Obeying. If you do Obeying overcome and Yamaba. So that is the point.
Might say, Medase.
Okay. So I'm sure we'll be wrapping up in a few minutes. Let's take a few more calls. But Bessie, I'm afraid you.
Good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, madam.
If I show your friend say now kasa free.
If I show Kofi Annan in kasa free.
Hey, Kofi Annan, but you can be mommy why now there?
I'm that topic na mo kan. You know, we have to meeting.
Oh.
I said we afraid to say yeah, any be there. I'm saying call for money yes so. Because me is me no know about it. Me now me no. Some me net trema me net anyim trema. Okay, I'm saying, and so later on, then no be an end. And then say, make a man so on, Katie Grana, and come in and no one, mega say, their name. What I say? Because later on, we can make clear jam.
Oh,
Eddie, 10 years and the real is not the real is your bonus. No, you may be unfound. Do or the poor man hold a list. This should be meaning because Mr. Ram and my semi-crime promises.
Oh,
really be.
Oh,
what I say? Eti sese bi mi we sika kura na nka metma ka sese ama na mi na sa mi na me no ma wo.
Oh.
But it's true, you see, especially because if you are not married and you are dating somebody and assuming that, and you know, some of you women, you are very smart, you date. And
dating is different from being in a relationship.
I'm speaking English. I said you date.
Yes, we date. Dating is different from relationship.
And because of that, if the woman becomes pregnant, not the other show because who was that?
Hold the thought. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Pastor Kabimamio, your friend was saying now because free.
But your friend is Jesus because it's free kitty.
Oh, Jesus. Wait. Jesus Kabimami Metro.
But that's what me Kabima.
Asamaba.
But to catch him stand, I also catch for it. Why?
But are you Mojodo?
But to catch him stand, says, "A mighty go home food, so no more to a cat, sheep, good." It is a Obasa, I don't know. I said, "Oh, you say, Obedauti." So, very serious, and that's because catcher will do one more. Or this is a dinner or catcher must in America. Tana Oba we into a call we and Nipana, them are not in the tiano. On we are Colano, on Sebrano, on any tiano. As a different person on Oba we or no, they appreciate more. I come in India, Luna, and you've been a better rule. It's been a mad year. I will simply a character in it. Therefore, someone in the
lots of lessons here.
Yeah.
And I believe that
hello.
Yeah.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
If I show your friend saying now because free.
I'm a Prince.
Prince.
Prince. One thing I want to tell you is that you are talking about faithfulness.
Yes.
No matter how faithful you are, you can only see it in your face but not in your heart. So everybody is faithful until you are caught. Okay. So to me, I would advise every man to do a DNA test on their children. Amen.
Amen.
Okay,
so I had
hey, into Musana Mudibay.
Pitankuma wish Kasami Obekabi.
Sana Mudibay.
Pitankuma Jinaho.
Hey, ask
me. Next Friday we'll bring another interesting topic. In fact, if you have any topic you think is worthy of discussing, and we take lessons from it, but the lesson is the last call, that everybody must have faith until you are caught, but be very, very alert.
Yes.
That's what I take from it.
Yes, yes.
When we come back, newspaper review.
I love makeup. Applying it gives me so much joy. But when it's time to take it off, nothing does the job quite like the Black Secret Makeup Wipes. When I go somewhere and I feel really sweaty, I take my Black Secret wipe and I use it on my face. It picks me up and I don't look as tired as I did when I walked in.
Before I work on a client's face, I like to go over it with Black Secret Makeup Wipes to make sure the face is clean. It doesn't leave the face dry and tight, but it keeps it soft and moisturized.
Wipe say your bodo. Bakope, and it gets the job done. Or baby, and the smell makes the experience even better.
Tell me the tell you. Me want this say na me say kofa pani. Ai! Kwati adawrumo, me yonko kwati. Na adawruma. Enu anwumre wo ye aduane asori wura dem ana me fefe me se adabo no. Ana kwati ebere meduro. Eduro odebere me no se losing heba, Mr.
Na me sisi me pechi. Ani me ho na matwetwe me. Ani me chese madwonku, ani me nsai. Na da na wonka
me do futwa so. Empre ho, enya no nko. Wo de losing heba ointment.
Me sisi me kotodwe ni me pechi. Me ho na me yaw. Mintiwa na etwetwe me nyina. Me no ye di Israel. Eko me benefit ko mu yaw na ha no. Onu bie no. Eko na malaria ne die etu asie dekudi.
Lawson Herbal Clinic 0242 133 577.
Enye ma pemfo. Ema wo ma omanofo. Ene mofra wonya mfie dum.
Lawson Herbal mixture. Any Lawson ointment. Ehun ase daye.
Welcome back. TV XYZ says you are welcome to our newspaper review segment. This morning I'm here with Peter Nkuma. So yemi enunkwa you're the best at it. Peter is saying last week you were telling me that we child Daibo. And then they child Daibo papa.
That's what they mean you know.
Of course. Peter is the deputy editor of the Daily Dispatch newspaper. Normally on Fridays I bring editors here, and we've decided because Daily Dispatch is just closed within our enclave would make them our permanent guest. And he has never disappointed us. This morning, we're talking about a lot of things. His paper has reported a number of issues. We all know that we are talking about Galamsey. The president made a statement endorsing the banning of excavators when he cut the sword for a project for the Ghana School of Law at the University of Ghana. We'll be having a discussion on that because the small-scale miners are reacting, and there's some mixed reaction. Some are saying it's in the right direction because if you don't send the right signal, they'll continue to destroy the environment. Others are saying otherwise. It will be part of our discussion. Obviously, we can't discuss that without leaving another aspect of an issue associated with the president. That has to do with the revelation by the MP for North Tongue and ranking member of the Foreign Affairs Committee of Parliament, who is suggesting that the president is blowing our cash on flights to one country, from one country to the other. The details are out. We spoke to it earlier on this program. And then we would also want to look at the controversy started by Martin Amidu. It's come in the public domain before. That has to do with double salaries. MPs have reacted. But is there something in there that we should all be interested in? I'm sure when we have time, we'll also do this discussion. Peter, do you have
and then maybe, you know, last week we discussed about the
political
parties yes. And the position taken by NDC against the Electoral Commission.
Sure.
And the fact that now the smaller parties have also responded to the NDC, that yes, they work with them, and that now they see them different. It's quite unfortunate. And that even the EC is also saying that, look, if they want to go by the latter, in terms of the law governing our political party organization, even the MPP and NDC,
will be affected. So that's quite exciting. And on this program, we are able to speak to Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa. This morning, his phone has been very busy. So when we are able to raise him, he will join this conversation and give us details into what he says has been tabled before Parliament for further discussion when when the Minister for Defense appears before the committee. Now, let's start with Galamsey. We all know what has happened.
Yes.
The presidency has been at the receiving end because critics go hard and as far as the president's office by suggesting that he's not demonstrating commitment to fight Galamsey. Last few days, he has spoken and he says, look, we will continue to ban the excavators. And our investigations suggest that these miners remove what they call the control board from the excavator. And so when they move away from the site before the soldiers arrive, they are not able to move the excavators. And the only alternative is to burn them, because if they don't do the next day or in the night, they come and do their operation. Some are saying it's out of law and the president shouldn't have done that.
Yes, good morning to our viewers. I respectfully disagree with the president on the issue of burning of the excavator, but I'll come to that. You know, Galamsey is a complex and complicated issue. I've lived in Obuasi. My mom is still there, Obuasi Kaporiso. And so when you look at the effect of illegal mining on our environment, on our water bodies, you see, you come and you love this country, you will come to a conclusion that you have no other alternative than to support the fight against the illegal mining in this country. Okay? And so I think we must all support government in fighting the Galamsey menace. But over the years, both the MPP and NDC, okay, they have adopted a certain approach in fighting the menace, which has never or has not, it has
been successful.
Okay, the burning of excavators, it's not new. I have enough publications to support the fact that NDC adopted the same strategy. It failed. It got to a point, the then Minister for Environment, Ohama Ayariga, had to come out to virtually throw arms and to say that, look, let's stop burning of excavators. Okay, I strongly believe that, yes, as president, he is privy to a lot of information that me and you sitting here
may not know.
May not know. Okay, and so his decision to burn the excavators is quite a bit of problematic. Maybe he knows why he's doing that. But the issue is that once you adopt that strategy, you must be able to carry the people along. At least let the populace be aware of why you have adopted this strategy. Remember, the decision to fight illegal miners or galamsey is a decision supported by all. And in fact, we must all support, even though I know that some political parties, especially in the last election, NDC tried to play politics with it when they visited some communities and told them they will allow them to do galamsey, blah, 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 blah. Those things happen. But in general, a lot of us and Ghanaians support the fight. And so the approach, okay, the policy, good, perfect. But the strategy to deal with the fight is where there's a problem. You see, you cannot fight an illegality with an illegality. Okay? Especially when the last administration, Minister Amewu, sort of engaged the people. Because remember, galamsey, when you check, those people behind, the politicians, the chiefs, and the political parties across the divide, the known top businessmen, very influential people, police and security officers involved. Okay? And so when you talk to the people in the galamsey communities, they will tell you the problems and they will tell you how you should go about it. Mr. Amewu, like I said, engaged some people within the mining communities. Unfortunately, he couldn't implement some of the things that they came into agreement with because he was changed to another ministry. And I would have wished that they would have gone back to that implementation policy and look at how to sort of engage and help solve, create an alternative for some of these people who engage in the galamsey activities. Look, you talk to them, they will tell you that they know that visiting the galamsey site is 50-50. Yet they will still want to go and dig and involve themselves in the galamsey activities. Why? It goes beyond just monetary aspect because the alternatives are not there. The late Sir John started something in some of the galamsey communities where he started land reclamation exercises and employed some women to help plant trees. He sort of created some alternative for the people and reduced the activities. Okay? And so I strongly believe that yes, we all support the fight. Yes, we must all help fight galamsey because of the destruction it caused to our water bodies and our forests and our environment. Indeed, the law is so clear that you cannot mine on our water bodies and in our forest.
You may disagree with the president, and I believe that many people also hold the same view because obviously if you look at what the law says, it clearly spells out what should happen to some of these machines that have been seized or if the task force comes across them. But critics say that it could be a populist decision after government has created the problem itself, because from day one, government was aware that the galamsey activities was escalating. If you look at the galamsey that took place in 2017, 2018 compared to today, you realize that it's almost free for all. And it got to its peak in 2020. And I have been to many parts of this country. I visited almost all the galamsey communities during the 2020 elections. And I know for sure that it was such that even sometimes in the district capitals, just next door, after you are getting out of the outskirts, Obuasi to be specific, and many other areas, it was an open, free activity, and people were aware. No, but it was happening at a time when government had committed itself and had even put his presidency, I'm talking about the president, on the line. So if you allow it to get to that stage and you go for a conference, the only action you can only take today is just to assume that you are serious. That is why critics are taking on government and not necessarily burning excavators.
My brother, I disagree with you when you say that Galamsey activities increased just the last 5 years when the new the MPP administration took office. Look, check our history. And the then minister, Inusa Fuseni, his comments, public comments that he made on the activities of Galamsey or the illegal miners. Okay, look, my issue with the approach, and this approach, it was adopted by the NDC. Okay, they bent some excavators, and there's even a high court judgment of judgment debt against the government.
That government of $50 million or so.
Very well. Okay. Meanwhile, just the last.
Just hold it. The conversation will become exciting after this short break. So just wait. Don't go anywhere. Just give me 1 minute.
The diabolic man is in.
We are one man short. Should we invite him?
Yes.
It be old cargo.
Can I join you guys?
Yeah.
Always drink fresh, natural, mix, mineral, water.
Still got it.
Always keep hydrated naturally. That's my secret.
Manufactured with the primary aim of preserving nature's finest minerals necessary for a healthy mind and body. X Natural Mineral Water. Simply natural.
Ifokra na menyisika. Edia ye mefui.
Ehin fapa na menya bosia. Edia tre medjuma yimu.
Kai kra mabre. Miye busia ato taxi fufu. Suhum Rural Bank.
Suhum Rural Bank.
Yema kwa baba Suhum Rural Bank. Ye won hyehyɛ ahodo bi te sɛ gadifo abosia, ekokro abosia, susu account, eni da so wo ho savings account, me bada chain savings account, ene de keka ho. Suhum Rural Bank was 03422919896. Na won so wetumi aka sɛ
Suhum Rural Bank. Ama ene mayeka una.
Suhum Rural Bank. Enti me pa minie.
Suhum Rural Bank. growing our heritage.
Peace of mind is very essential in your journey to success. For Akwesi Papa, peace of mind means having a proper covering over his family. Literally. For Araba, aka Injection Mama, it's about having the funds to complete her advanced nursing course. And as for Corporal Odami, it's as simple as reporting on time for his shifts. Sometimes all you need is a simple push. At Needs Microfinance, we have tailor-made loan packages for salaried workers under the Controller General's Department. With the low interest rate and quick wahala-free process, you are guaranteed of a timely solution to get back that peace of mind, literally in 30 minutes. Needs Microfinance. Growing with you.
Welcome back. This is TVXYZ. This is the morning update, and we are with the newspaper review segment. Here with Charles McCarthy has joined us. He's the editor of the Hawk newspaper. Peter Nkuma is the deputy editor of Daily Dispatch. Peter started the conversation with me. Peter, I was just asking a question that, look, the Galamsey activities escalated from 2018, because if you look at how it is almost free for all today, it suggested that at the latter stage, that's getting into the 2020 elections, government just relaxed.
No. It's not true. And I'm saying that I can understand, because you have not lived in a mining community before.
I have.
I'm saying, well,
listen, I have lived in Sekondi Takoradi, but
Okay.
I've done a lot of activities on mining from Takwa to Pristia to Bogoso to Chirano. I've done documentaries for almost all the mining companies.
I'm surprised.
So I really understand. I
Okay.
worked with Joseph Boahenedu when he was the Western Regional Minister, when they started the fight against Galamsey. At that time, soldiers were shooting people at Pristia. There was a massive demonstration. They shot their legs, if you can remember
Yes,
then.
yes.
So as for Galamsey and mining, I am one of the kingpins.
And I'm surprised you are saying that it escalated the last just 2-3 years.
Yes, that's what I'm telling you.
It's not true. But you see, I have a Joy FM report here in 2016 where Minister Ayariga, you see, the headline is the minister gives up on the fight against illegal mining. And I want to quote something he said. He said, the menace of Galamsey cannot be blamed entirely on central government, noting that the responsibility to stop it is a shared one. It extends to traditional authorities, local government authorities, and many of these institutions are failing. Look, I've called the Minerals Commission, I called the EPA, I called all the stakeholders, and I said, look, it looks like we cannot stop them from mining. Okay? His view was that, look, once the people within those areas
get involved,
it is difficult to stop them. Okay, and I'm saying that, you see, we should try and depoliticize it, else we will not win the fight against the Galamsey. Okay, and I'm saying that when you know the destruction it caused to our environment, to our water bodies and other things, you must all support it. So that decision is there. But the approach, and I'm saying that successive governments have failed in adopting that same strategy of let's burn excavators. Because look, you see, by even burning the excavators, you are impeding investigations. Because when you're able to take the chassis number, yes, when you visit some of the places, they take the control board away and all those things. But you can take the numbers, the chassis numbers, and then track it using the DVLA and even port how it was imported to look for the owners. It could even give you a clue as to those big men or big fishes, be it politicians, businessmen, whoever, behind it. But when you burn it, well, I'm not a president. I don't know the kind of information he has that he's adopted this strategy. Okay? But I don't think it's the best, because I'm saying that the NDC adopted similar strategy and it didn't work. Okay? There are enough laws, regulations that if we implement could help solve the problem. And one of it is the Minerals and Mining Operations Tracking Earth Moving Mining Regulation, LI 2404. You know, last year, government, as part of the fight,
Revised
amended
the law,
the act, and introduced some punitive action against those who are involved. Okay, and so in 27th May 2020, as part of the LI, they said that in addition to banning of excavators, there was a cabinet directive that they have banned excavators. Okay, but to date, people still import excavators if you want to check from the port. Okay, so it's about just enforcing such a directive. Okay, now they say that those who want to embark on the legal mining, you must provide or register with the commission, so the commission will attach some tracking device to be able to monitor whether you are going into water bodies or not. These things have not been done, and so we should just go back and check and ensure that yes, indeed, we install all the tracking devices. Okay, we register to know which machine is being used in one place or the other. Okay, and stop the politicization. Else, we will not win the fight.
But
Because
who
there will be
is
blame.
politicizing it? Listen to me.
No.
I'm sure you listened to Professor Frimpong Boateng, who addressed press conferences severally. Peter Mewu, who addressed press conferences severally, and assumed at that time that they had won a certain percentage in the fight against Galamsey when they were supposed to be implementing this. So at that time, were they doing politics or they were being sincere to Ghanaians?
Oh, look, you see, you cannot also say that the last 5 years, nothing has been done in the fight against Galamsey. I just mentioned the fact that they've amended the law, and this time, when you are caught engaging in illegal mining activities, the sanction is huge. I think it's 15 years and above now or so.
15 to 25
25 years.
Yes.
Okay? And in fact, I also do know that some people were also taken to UMAT. My friends, he knows them very well. They used to do a lot of diabolic activities there. Okay? For training and other
to build their capacity to
education on the use of mercury and all those things.
Mining.
Okay, and so you can engage the people. Let them be aware of the dangers in using even the mercury. Okay, try and find an alternative. I mentioned the fact that Sir John, the late Sir John, started something in Amansia, in some places in Ashanti region, where the women within the Galamsey areas were recruited. Okay, these are things that could help solve the problem.
Okay, now let me come to you, Charles, for your opening remark. First of all, as he said, it is true that government engaged the small-scale miners. They adopted all these strategies. But we have national security. And so when excavators are supposed to be moving into any enclave where there is supposed to be mining, at this stage, when government was supposed to be fighting mining, they would have planted people there to be able to give them signals. Now, at this stage that we are burning excavators and many of us are agreeing that it may not be the best approach, is it fair for anybody to assume the position that government just failed and must not pretend to be serious this time?
Thank you, Senior. And let me greet Peter, cherished viewers. Let me place on record that it is uncharacteristic of me to appear late due to doing so, because I have to move miles to go and look for light to be able to iron my.
Raise your voice a bit.
If that had been radio, I would have rushed in. But it's television, so I must look. Especially when I'm meeting a bourgeoisie like Peter.
Oh.
I think you are right. We are pretending to be fighting Galamsey. It is a pretense. I am saying that the strategy in fighting Galamsey needs a strategy. We have failed as a nation, and everybody must bow his or her head down in shame. What is the statement of the problem? We pretend to be fighting. What is the statement of the problem? What are we seeking to achieve?
Stop it.
Stop what? Mining or illegal mining? Has that been defined? Is it mining we want to stop? If it is illegal, to what extent? What do we want to achieve? Is it pollution of our water bodies? Is it deforestation? Is it worsening the soil fertility? If that is the case, then what is the scope of the operation? What are we looking at?
Are you suggesting that the experts who met recently to review the efforts that government put in between 2018 and 2020 do not understand mining and you do better than them?
It is not about you. You can understand it. If you pretend not to fight it, you will devise strategies that won't work. If they are experts like you are saying, no expert will recommend burning of excavators. No sane man or woman will recommend setting ablaze excavators as a means of combating illegal mining or mining. Are we saying that those who are doing legal mining do not affect our environment? Are we saying those who are licensed genuinely to mine, the activity does not affect the water bodies? Is that our argument? That those who are licensed to mine, to extract gold, diamond or what have you, their activity does not affect our land? If it does, what are we gaining from it? Over the years that they have mined in Obuasi, what can we show? For the amount of gold that we have
we will walk into that conversation. But you also know, I know for a fact that no matter what strategy you adopt, these illegal miners go to the extent of even risking their lives and do what they do. And so the burning of the excavators, naturally or genuinely, I'm against it. But the fact is that if that is going to be the deterrent factor to the extreme, to stop people who, in spite of all the caution, are still moving these earth-moving machines into the forest to destroy it, then for me, it's another option I will go for if I have to side with the president.
You see, you don't use illegality to fight illegality. Two wrongs do not make it right. Burning of excavator has not been prescribed by law. There are ways of disposing excavators established by the act Peter is holding in his hand. President is a lawyer, a respectable one at that. Recommending jangled way of living is bad. It is a reckless comment ever made by a president in recent times to say that yes, they will continue to burn, and that if you don't understand, go to court. Who doesn't know what happens in court? Especially when president directs you to go there. Who does not know the footprint in this country? That when you are told to go to court, it means that there is a plan for you to go and meet those who will meet you.
Are you not overstretching this comment?
Overstretching which comment? Are we not in this country? When people were told to go to court, when they went to court, they were quoting dictionaries against the Constitution. Black laws were quoted to set aside constitutional provisions. Today, President is directing you, go to court, because the grounds have been set for you to go and meet them. We are not sure. From 2018, from 2017 to 2018, we arrested 1,000 illegal artisanal miners. What did we do to them? Where are they? 340 makeshift accommodations destroyed from 2017 to 2018. 3,002 chamfine machines destroyed. 22 out of 172 Chinese arrested were jailed. What happened to the rest? Are we serious? When you arrest somebody, if a person is a local, you find him or her, foreigners, you deport them. We were not serious enough. Jail, rages, whatever. We were simply not serious.
What do you propose must be done now?
We must suspend mining in general. Ghana as a country, we are not benefiting from mining.
Oh. If you say suspend mining, is it limited to local, that's small-scale miners, or all multinationals must also stop?
We must stop mining because we are not even dealing with the issue of smuggling, where people are under declaring whatever they are exporting from our country. That is an issue we must look at more than this. So if we are not benefiting from it, why are we interested in destroying the land? Why are we interested in depriving people of potable drinking water? Why are we interested in destroying the land? And so to the extent that we as a nation are not benefiting so much from extracting of these mineral resources, let's say, okay, for the next 10 years, we want to keep our land good. We want to refine our water. We want to do this. So let's stop mining. Stop giving license. You don't continue to issue license for exploration, mining, and what have you, and tell me you are fighting galamsey.
But you know that if I'm a multinational company and I come into the country and I go through all the processes, I put in my investment, and I'm doing my business, which has timeline, because I also have to pay people who have helped me to raise capital. You can't say that because of your weakness in fighting a crime, I should stop my business. Because Ochehene, in his statement, says that we should ban small-scale mining for 1 year. We have done this before. And so why would the local investor in the mining industry be at the receiving end of an action when we are, just recently, we trained 200 policemen, and the narrative is that we are taking them out there to protect the concession of multinational companies. Why are we putting the average Ghanaian in business on the line and then we are leaving others? Because the fact is, it cannot happen, Charles.
That is why I am advocating for a suspension of mining.
Total ban.
Total ban. Then everybody will be affected. Why would you give concession to a foreigner under the guise that he or she is doing, what do you call it, large-scale mining, and that because your locals are not that resourceful to engage in it, they should starve? Where is the fairness?
Peter, is that possible?
Where is the fairness?
You see,
you go and set...
he's being too simplistic. You see...
The problems are simple problems, and you try to make them complex, and that is why you are not getting solutions. Simple issues require simple approach. You take simple issues and you make them complex, then you get confused. Who does not know?
You can come.
Today you came in late and you have charged like that.
Because I allowed you before I came. You were talking. So you should have been magnanimous enough to say you came late to speak. Yeah. So you see, in wrapping up. In 1 minute, Extra Good were told have license. True or false? Extra Good were told is not a small scale mining company per their records. Let's check when the minister Samuel Abudinapo gave that order that nobody. What has been denied? It's not about he denying. It's about you and I.
He said when he came,
wait,
not signed.
No. Peter, you don't do this. You and I as journalists, it is our responsibility to cross-check people and hold them to account of what they say. If he has not cross-checked, if he has not done anything, what was the essence of the order? Telling the whole nation that I have banned, what do you call it, exploration and what have you. Then a day after you said it, agency under you signed Extra Gold exploration permit.
So is that not why there's been mass transfers as a way of sanction?
You see, these are not the way it should go.
Okay, so you hold it there. You will rebut when how do you call it, Peter?
You don't commit and come and say you transfer people.
Look, just some few clarifications. You see, I think it is too simplistic to say that because they are illegal miners, you should suspend mining entirely. And you were right when you drew his attention to the fact that it's been done before, to close to almost 2 years. What was the results? You see, there are illegal politicians around. There are politicians who
when you say illegal politicians, what are you talking about?
People who claim to be politicians or even media people who are involved in all manner of criminal activities and all those things, creating serious damage to our society. Okay? Do we ban the media or do we ban politicians? There are illegal drivers, people who do not even have license, but they operate as drivers on our roads and create all sorts of problems for all of us. Do we ban drivers? That's too simplistic. Yes, there are illegal problems or illegal miners. Okay? The issue is that we must target them. Okay? Look for proper approach and strategy to deal with them. But to say we should ban mining outright like that, how? Why? a sector that is at least creating direct about 1 million jobs, close to 4 million indirect jobs. Check the report from the Minerals Commission. So we should suspend it for close to whatever years.
Checked how much gold we have exported that we cannot account for, but other countries are talking about how much gold that they have taken from Ghana and the revenues we have. Obviously, that doesn't account for that.
That is a defeatist approach.
It is not.
That because there are problems in, like, say, this area, that area, then you ban it entirely or you stop it entirely. No. Once there's a problem within a sector, what you do is that you identify the problem, then you cure it using punitive and proper strategy to deal with it. We've just discussed about some of the issues, engaging the people, tracking and registering, enforcing the laws on tracking and registering of the excavators, okay, and many others. The problem is that, look, I don't support those who are saying that, yes, there's a problem. So tomorrow, if there's a problem with our politicians, where one politician will come out to make reckless statement, to create problems for us, tribal comment or all manner of things, should we say, in that case, we should stop politics and the politicians must stop operating? If there's a problem within, like say, the finance area, where people are taking, or like say the banking sector, where people are taking illegal money or involved in all manner of things. For example, there was a problem with the men's gold. Should we say we should ban banking and we should ban?
You are rather simplifying it.
No, listen, that is what he did.
See, let's look at it. We know that you know the process of acquiring a concession.
Yes.
You apply. You are given the initial license.
Yeah.
You do your scoping.
License. Yes.
Then they come back.
They use
wait. Then when you do your scoping and everything, you do your environmental impact assessment.
Yes.
Once that is done and the EPA and the Minerals Commission are satisfied, because the community which may be involved if the concession is large agrees that you can go ahead, the license is then certified. Now, at every district, the Minerals Commission and the EPA have representation there.
They should, yes.
And once they have representation there, there are assembly members in the various districts. They have unit committees. These unit committee members live in those communities. And so, because they are part of the conversation, when you have the environmental impact assessment, they would know that mining company Charles McCarthy will be operating within this area, which covers village A, B, C, D, town B, Q, S. So before the operation, that's the task force goes into any community, they would have liaised with these agencies and would have known that if you are going to, let's say, Atuabo, they know that the Atuabo should have companies 5 doing minerals, mining there. So they know where to go. So when they meet any excavator that is outside the concession, that person is doing illegal mining.
Yes.
So if the president says you are challenging me because I burnt the excavator, I am only going beyond the burning. Because I am burning it because I don't need it. After all, I am the country. I don't need it. I am burning it. If you disagree with me that you have proper license, go to court. What is wrong with that?
You see,
what is wrong with that? I've taken you through the process.
Yes, in your narration.
Wrong, fine. But the process is what exactly I've told you.
No. Yeah, in your narration, you said that the Minerals Commission is supposed to have agencies within the district.
They are there.
Yes. Go and check whether they even have computers or data of those who are supposed to mine within the community. So why don't you resource them? Give them logistics, give them proper office, give them the computer to the data of those who are supposed to mine within the catchment area and those who are not. Okay? And get the security services, like say maybe a task force, to assist them to enforce the law. That's all. You don't need all this whole thing about, look, the point that he made about the fact that we need to define which one is legal and which one is illegal. We are told that this very exercise is to check those who are mining on our water bodies and in our forests.
But what happened at Prestia yesterday was not close to any water body.
Where people...
Where the excavators were burnt.
Well, we do not know. So we'll have to find out. You are saying, I am not aware of that.
I spoke to the president of the Small Scale Miners Association, who told me that the excavators were at a location not close to any water body within the Prestia enclave. Because if you enter Prestia from Bogoso, the water body just is the main bridge that you have to cross, and it navigates through the area, through the northwestern border to the sea.
Okay, so some of these things can be taken up. Okay, there are systems to check all those things. They can go to. I disagree with him when he says that they should not go to court. Okay, yes, I understand that sometimes it may be difficult in even getting the finance and money to pay for lawyers, especially when you are hard.
I don't think that's what he's talking about, the integrity of the system that Ghanaians see today. That's what he said. He's not talking about
the integrity. Hey, but we don't live in a failed state. You see, we don't live in a jungle. Yes, we have problems with the police. Just last week, some police officers were involved in robbery when they took about 20,000 from mobile money operator or so.
East Legon,
yes. Does that mean that we must not believe in the police? See, this mentality of trying to dent state institutions, create doubt, and paint them as evil, as whatever, should be stopped. It's not good. When you do that, okay, someday your preferred person may be in charge, and another group will also start attacking those institutions. You will not be happy. It's not good. We must not encourage that. Okay, I agree that there are enough regulations to check. For instance, the LI 2404 clearly states in section 4.5 as to how we should handle excavators. Okay, and so that is there. That when you visit an area and you suspect that the machine has been used for whatever illegal activities or whatsoever, you seize it, you bring it to the police. The last time the problem that came was because they sent it to the district assemblies. And so the political actors sort of influenced the distribution and how it was handled. Okay, let's get things right. Let's ensure that we go by the law, that the police will keep it, they will take stock, they will quickly go to court, okay, and then hand it over to the assembly for whatever activities that they want to do.
Now, Charles, brief comment, let's move on to another topic. Do you think we can win this war?
I was wrong when he suggested that there was a certain suspension of mining. Oh, there was not absolute suspension of mining, and that you know. They suspended small-scale mining. I am talking about mining in general.
Oh, then you are even extending the problem.
I'm not extending, but that's what I said here. And I'm on record to have said this, we should suspend all. So creating the impression as though mining activities were suspended is not true. We suspended it for a period of time, chased those who were there out, asked people to put themselves into groups and come under the guise of community mining, come and take license and go and mine. That's what we did. They are the people you said they were taken to UMAT for training. And after, we have allowed them to go and mine. Are they part of this present challenge we have?
No. This one is specific. It's on water bodies and forests.
And I'm only asking question.
Those you know, as an editor, you know.
No, I don't give license. I don't give concessions. So how would I be able to tell where they were put to mine and where they were not put to mine? I cannot know this one. Maybe you will know. And if you do, let us know. Are they part of the present situation? The people we claim to have trained and given license, are they part? If they are, what are we doing to them? I am saying that this battle can never be won. For me, what I see is that, okay, the land has been taken, the concessions have been taken, there's a new minister, let's go and do this hanya, let's show this bravado, let's chase them off, then we redistribute the land, the concessions among ourselves and move. That is all.
We'll end here. We'll move on to another topic. The question is, some are saying, why would you ban excavators and fail to arrest those who took them there in the first place? They are saying that the Ghana Armed Forces, through the defense minister, is saying that they come back in the night to operate. If our forces are well trained, then it shouldn't be a conversation, because they should be in the forest and wait for them to come and arrest the culprits and not allow them to escape and just burn excavators and assume that you are mining. Some are saying that, look, we are not serious because the community themselves are engaged, and if they want to stop it, just like what happened at Etiwa when some national security operatives, as alleged, went into the forest and they were arrested and handed over to the police. If the chiefs and the people are doing the same, then government doesn't have to sweat at all, because the people in the community who are most affected first will then realize that they need their water bodies, they need their environment to be clean, they need the land to cultivate, and at the end of the day, we all move forward. So I'll just leave it there, and the conversation will continue elsewhere. Now we are moving into another controversy. We'll be brief on it. It's about the president and his trips around. Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa says he has tabled a motion before the Speaker of Parliament, and if the issue is called, the defense minister will come to answer questions why the presidential jet is sitting there and we are spending so much on trips abroad. Let me start with you, Charles, or Peter, you want to go first?
Peter wants to go. He has brought documents.
Oh, no. You see, why? Okay, Eric.
Charles, I want you to start.
Because, look, I heard of it yesterday.
I want you to start. So, Charles.
Yes, we all heard
I want
of
us to spend some 10-15 minutes on this.
That's
and
fine.
then move on to other topics. Because we have 30 minutes left.
Yeah, that's fine. But before I go there, you mentioned Ghana Armed Forces. I pity them in these times. Because in 2020 February, they issued a press statement informing the nation that they are withdrawing their services from Operation Vanguard because it is not the duty of the military to fight illegal mining. Why are they busy at mining pits today, burning excavators? Why are they?
I remember very well.
We should ask them. If they know shame, they won't do that. Moving forward. President flying around.
Peter has finished the game, so you make it brief. Let's go.
President flying around in private jets. You know, it tells you the opulence life of our president.
I'm sorry, I'm not being rude, but you see, Eric, in all honesty, okay, there is a question pending in Parliament, okay? So it's more like an allegation that has been made by one of our very respected or finest brains in Parliament, Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa. We have no reason to doubt his evidence that he claims that he has, okay?
We are actually trying to raise him on the line.
I know him. He's very good. I mean, I cannot say he's lying or he doesn't have enough evidence to support what he's saying.
So what I say?
But we should be careful to proceed in an area where we are not too sure of.
Have you listened to Okudzeto on radio stations?
No, I have. Yesterday I listened to him.
Yesterday I monitored him on 3 radio stations.
Yeah, you see,
and he said something that is very instructive, that he's tabled it, but he's deliberately speaking to the public and he's making government aware with facts he's putting out that they should know that he has done a lot of investigation so that when they are coming to answer questions, they should prepare well. Yeah, and that's a strong signal.
Yes. Oh, no. I mean, not too much about it, but I'm saying that this thing just happened yesterday. I'm sure by close of today, there will be a response. Okay? Then we can have a very comprehensive discussion on the matter.
Okay, so let's just land on it and then you can come in.
No, you see, the way he's proceeding, I see.
Are you suggesting that you should not talk?
Oh, okay, you go ahead.
I'm saying that Charles will be brief, so let Charles land and then you come in.
You see, we know of these tactics. It is normal. But what I was saying is that the president's affinity, his taste for good living,
that cannot be verified, as Peter says.
You see,
if government admits that indeed these are the specs.
No. Senior, you allow me. When there are issues in this country, when issues are raised, we all read on social media. You know, people from Jubilee House, First Staff House, who are posting busily, justifying what has happened. It is true that they said our presidential jet is not in good shape. There is that argument. So nobody is saying that president shouldn't travel. No. But then economically, does it make sense to spend this huge amount on renting jet when you can actually look at procuring one?
Hey, at this time, you go and procure another
are we not paying
presidential jet.
But the fact is, the presidential jet we have now is good it's in use.
That's what I'm saying.
The Vice President has used it just recently.
What we are being told,
we cannot go for a new one.
What we are being told is that is not in good shape.
But you are saying that we can
So
get
why can't we? If we need to get one for the nation. It is better than renting a private jet. There are implications to that. You are only renting because you have something to hide. You are only renting because you don't want them to see what you do, your activities you are doing in a different plane. If not, why would a president of a republic go for a private jet? Go and rent. Why not use that of the state? What is informing that decision of you going to rent this jet? The pictures I have seen, pictures of the jet put out by Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, the pictures that accompanied his write-up shows that indeed. That is why I concluded that the affinity of our president taste for good thing is unmatched, is unparalleled this time. That you rent plane and pay an hour $15,000.
I think pounds.
Pounds, up and down, just in the sky.
What do you expect will happen if the issue goes before Parliament?
Going to beg Macron to forgive us our debt. You need to rent a plane and go. 3 years ago, our president told Macron that is not what we need. As Africa, we don't need to depend on them. That they must teach us how to fish. Then 3 years on, he has forgotten. You go and beg them to forgive you your debt. After telling the whole world that Ghana is beyond aid. You get it? Ghana is beyond aid, but we are going to beg. You just went to beg. That our sins should be forgiven. Our debt should be forgiven. While we are borrowing. You go beg that your debt should be forgiven. You come back and tell us that you have secured 170 million euros to open a bank. You see, you close banks. And you go and beg to come and open bank. This is the country in which we are.
Okay.
That is the situation. So as for the jet, we had it. When Kevin Taylor broke, he said 17,000. Now, a member of parliament whose integrity I cannot doubt, because it was the same Okudzeto Ablakwa who told us about Oslo. True of us.
True.
And it came to pass that Oslo was indeed Oslo. So I cannot doubt Okudzeto today, especially when he's a ranking member
of the
Foreign Affairs Committee.
Okay,
I cannot doubt. I take his word as those of the Bible. Yeah, I take Ablakwa's words as those of the Bible. I want to stand by them until he retracts. And I know Okudzeto will not retract this one.
Okay.
I know he will stand by it. This thing will go to Parliament and it's going to be a game of numbers, as usual. Our Parliament has demonstrated. Parliament has demonstrated over the period that it is a matter of numbers. Once you have numbers, you can do whatever thing you want to do, and nobody will also respond.
Somebody has taken a decision. Come and account for it. It's about numbers.
You know how they do it. They will come and tell you orders. Standing orders. What
I'm
orders?
Sure you have made your point.
But Peter is not allowing. The number of times he's intruding.
So then it means you would end the program because I have 20 minutes left.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Charles. Peter, you will do 4 minutes.
Oh yeah,
I'm not talking.
Yes,
I'm just listening.
Yeah, because you see, I'm not comfortable discussing an issue where I do not have the full facts of the issues that transpired. Okay, especially when he mentioned something that the member of parliament involved is one of our very finest. Okay, and so I think we should wait. Okay, and hear the response that will come from government. Luckily for us, he sent it to Parliament, okay, a forum of records where you cannot lie. Okay, and so somebody will have to respond.
But I know people have lied before Parliament several times.
Well,
and nothing has happened.
Well, okay, but
I'm sure you are aware.
No, you see, but at least
Peter, you are aware of this.
But at least in generality, you cannot say that the number of lies way outweighs the number of truths that have been said in Parliament. Why? The Oslo thing that he mentioned, it was overblown. Even the pictures, go to the social media. You see, the pictures that was used by Samuel Okujeto Ablaka, go to the social media and see. Some have even added pictures from elsewhere.
He added it.
No.
Okay.
His is fine. When you check his pictures, okay, it's different from what others are sharing in other platforms. They've even brought some pictures more like a king and some chairs, okay, in other pictures that I have seen. And so we should take our time. The case is in Parliament. The minister or whoever in charge will have to bring a response. And let me say this. It has nothing to do with numbers. Okay? There's an allegation. Come and answer to it. What has that got to do with numbers? Numbers to do what? To allow the question to go ahead or to say it's not true. Numbers do not come in at all. He should check his parliamentary practice and procedure. Where does numbers come in? Okay? Because it will be very shocking, okay, at this time, when we are encouraging Ghanaians to sacrifice. There's COVID. Businesses have collapsed. People are hard pressed, okay, for government to say that they are going to buy new presidential jets, as has been suggested by my friend Charles. At this time, for government to decide to go and buy another presidential jet, it will be ridiculous. In fact, the backlash alone will not be good for the government. Okay, we have the Falconer, the presidential jet. If there is a challenge with it, yes, let's look at it.
Okujeto Ablakwa says he's done his checks from the Ghana Armed Forces and it is in good condition.
You see, Eric, we are not even doing good to the listeners or our watchers. You know why? Because we are presenting one-sided information. Okay? It is as if we believe he said...
it is not worthy of discussing?
No, it is. It is very, very important. I have said it. No, you are not listening to me. I'm saying that even at this time, when we will have to spend 2.8 million Ghana, is huge. Okay? But ask yourself, who did the calculation? It's the Okujeto himself.
Right.
So let's wait for a response. I'm not here to justify what has been done, but I will be surprised. But we should not be quick in passing judgment when we do not know the full facts of the case.
Very good point. But does it also suggest that
I thought we are moving to the Matiamidu and Mendes because we don't have time. You see, because it is just
pressure as if because of COVID nothing can be done. When they were hiring this private jet, COVID was around. When they were paying 15,000 pounds, there was COVID. When we flew our finance minister to USA for COVID treatment, there was COVID.
No, he paid.
But that one,
that one he paid himself. Please don't do that.
I am coming.
It was not.
I am coming. As we agreed.
And again, the finance minister paid for his.
Peter, you just drew my attention. We have 16 minutes more. We agreed to do some 2 others, and we all agreed that we'll be brief on this. But you are bringing it, okay?
No, it's okay. It's okay. No, let's okay. It's okay. We can move on.
Open.
You see, this week Matiamidu made.
We have got to borrow 170 million euros to come and build bank in COVID. Why are we not distributing them or sharing that money to people who are affected? If we want to create the impression as though because of COVID we cannot do anything, then whatever money we get, we must give
whatever money we get, we must go and buy another presidential jet.
170 million after wickedly closing banks, we go and bring 170 million to establish another bank to do.
No. You see,
to save which money?
Have you taken your time to look
at COVID has affected us? People are hungry, people are suffering.
Is going to do?
What would that bank do?
Check the history.
Which history?
The old bank, the banks that he claims has been collapsed. The banks that he claims he has been collapsed. Go and check the comment by even those themselves whose banks were closed,
including Heritage Bank.
Okay, go and check those whose banks okay, were closed themselves.
Including
and the comments they made.
Including Heritage Bank.
You see, don't do that.
What am I
It's not
doing?
good.
These are the facts.
The case is in
let's
court.
move on to the
The
other
banking
topic.
case is in court.
Let's
You
move
see,
on to another topic. Peter.
But the case, don't you know, before and GT Bank and others are in court.
I'm talking about Heritage Bank. That is not Dufour's Bank.
But it's also...
So it is not in court.
No. You see,
So
you made
say
a
the
general
person
statement.
as if-
Okay, he made a general statement that you wickedly
When I
close
tell you time
down
is up,
banks.
don't
No, we
complain.
are okay.
Okay, no, but you see, next week we'll have to come and read comments by those themselves whose banks were closed.
I know what Capital Bank has said. I know what UT Bank has said.
Yes.
In reference to the collapse.
Yes, he even said that.
Interestingly, UT Bank,
in
after
court.
even admitting that
It's in court. You see,
but he's also in Parliament.
Well,
So there are controversies. We cannot discuss
but he went
that now.
there. He
So
went there.
I went
It's a
there.
wickedly.
That is why I
That's why you see, as hell. You see,
Is it not
I'm not
wickedly?
trying to tell you what you should do, but sometimes when comments like wickedly close down banks, it's a general statement.
I think it's a
You see,
fair
it's not a
concern he
fair
has raised.
comment.
Fair concern.
You cannot say that.
That Heritage Bank.
That-
the
no,
only
but you
reason
can be
why
specific
go and
to say
close
that
Heritage
you close
Bank
down
is
some
that
no,
he has a
no.
case in court
see,
even before the judgment.
When
he
it
said
becomes-
he's
even
implicated.
the Heritage Bank,
Even but Heritage Bank, I totally agree with his position.
It's not in court.
Who went
The
to court?
Heritage Bank.
He's not in court.
Okay.
Why would you go to court?
No.
When he knows the people in court.
You see, Charles, don't do that. This bastardization of state institutions is not good.
Nobody is bastardizing state
we may end up
institutions.
not discussing the next topic.
But then advise him. So when he makes general statement against
56 judges to court.
Who?
From High Court to Supreme Court.
and so what?
56
So
judges
are you saying that
all
by
appointed.
appointing a judge, it makes that judge?
I am not the one saying that.
but look at what you're saying.
Research that is establishing that
Which
judges
research?
are
Quote it.
aligned.
Which research?
Oh, there was this former
Which research?
director of Ghana School of Law.
What did he say?
Atuguba.
No, Atuguba couldn't come out with the findings. He came to apologize. Check the records.
I will look for the video. I will send it.
Oh, please. Don't do
It's
that.
on record. To have no.
That's what.
They
That because
cannot
somebody
do anything.
appoints
They
a
are
judge,
taking
the judge will be
instructions.
lawyer.
They are taking instructions. Who client seeker. It
look,
is even written for them to go and read.
But I think when you say that,
you see,
you are overstretching it.
It's not good.
Somebody's
We
opinion
need to
cannot be.
overstretch to get people caught.
I would suggest that.
You see,
I would suggest that we manage the time left to address the other issue we have announced we will discuss. Peter, you were on the floor.
Look, Eric, one of the judges that the NDC had issues with during the last election was
Are we
Justice
going back
Appel.
there?
No. You see, we must correct this so that it doesn't sink. Look, you see, was Justice Appel. Justice Appel openly disagreed with the NDC's position by not bringing data and their collated figures to the court. Who appointed Justice Appel? Is it not NDC? Okay? There's one Justice Doji. She was appointed by the MPP. The last court case, she ruled against the MPP. Okay? So this mentality that because somebody has been appointed, the person will be lawyer and will do that person who appointed him or her agenda should stop. It doesn't look, it's not good for all of us. Okay? Now, the Martin Hamidou came out this week with a statement that the MPP, the minority is playing games or sort of mortgaging their interest with national interest when they passed the MPP appointees unanimously because of the double salaries saga. But there has been a response from the minority themselves and when it happened, I wasn't surprised. But you see, Martin Hamidou is entitled to his opinion. Okay? The same way when you give an opinion on issues, that same opinion should also be subjected to scrutiny, whether what you are saying is the truth or not. Okay? The act establishing the special prosecutor is clear on the role and what the special prosecutor should do.
Okay.
Okay. In fact, per the section 3, it says that the office shall, on a half-yearly basis, publish the following information in at least 2 daily newspapers of national circulation and on the website of the office. A, the list of corruption cases investigated and prosecuted by the office. And then 2, the number of acquittals, convictions, and cases pending in respect of the cases prosecuted under paragraph A and the value of proceeds recovered, if any. Martin Amidu, as special prosecutor, never published the lists that he's handled and those that he's prosecuted. In fact, the only case that he sent to court just early this year or so, the court threw it out when
that's Ayerge's
case. So if he had done that, all these back and forth issues would not have arisen. Okay? But, you know, when Martin Amidu was appointed, Sami Jemfi, the communication director of NDC, in an interview on Asempa, said something. Initially, I was a bit taken aback, but I'm tempted to believe and to side with some of the things that he said about Martin Amidu. Okay? That his only comments or submissions or opinions are the truth. But with your permission, I'll just quote just 1 or 2 of what Sami Jemfi said about him. Okay? In an interview, and I quote, he said that the man, in this case, Sami Jemfi saying the man, which is Martin Amidu, is an erratic personality who lacks discipline. His attempt to physically assault President Mills and his apology letter to that effect is a testament of the fact that he's a man who is controlled by emotions and cannot be appointed into such an important office.
What has this got to do with the statement he issued just some few days ago?
He attaches so much emotions to his statement. You read it. Okay? Second point, he's not honest and sincere person. He lied against former President John Mahama in the Supreme Court and was struck out by the court as false and scandalous. His lies against Charlotte Osei and Arimea Anas, which is a testament of this fact. Okay.
So in a nutshell, what you are saying is that what Martin Amidu is saying about the minority is not true. That's what you are saying.
Yes. Third point, he's a bitter man, and his appointment is a deliberate exploitation of lethal bitterness against the NDC by the President Akufo-Addo. His hatred and bitterness against John Mahama and his appointees will obviously cloud his sense of judgment. He is very prejudiced against John Mahama and some officials of the SY regime. He is on record to have called John Mahama a looter president, a disgrace to the Northerners, etc.
But let me intervene briefly. Look, is it fair for you to repeat these things? Because some will say you're not being fair to Martin Amidu. He has just issued a statement about what he thinks must be in the public domain.
And to relate, look at his comment against the Attorney General at this point. Okay? That because he disagreed with him years back in court, you call him an inexperienced person who is not qualified and fit for an Attorney General position just because he disagreed with you. Okay? He said he lacks principle and consistency.
I have 7 minutes left. Be landing on this.
Okay. He lacks principle and consistency. His persistent attacks on former regime vis-a-vis his deafening silence on the current corrupt happening in this present government says it all.
Okay. Now, Charles, Martin Amidu comes in and out from time to time. And he has made a lot of revelations. Some people have believed, some people have doubted. Is it fair for anybody to just draw conclusions on what he has just spoken on?
Be fair for any sane mind to say that let's discard what Martin A.B.K. Amidu has said. This man prides himself as the longest serving Deputy Attorney General in Ghana. When Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo was looking for somebody to appoint as special prosecutor, he went beyond his shoulders. He went beyond his party, went into the NDC, picked a former running mate of NDC and made him the special prosecutor. I'm talking about Martin Amidu. He's not mean a man. His words are heavier. He's very experienced when it comes
Peter
to politics.
raises something that is instructive, which is many saw was reminiscent with his responses before the appointment committee, as somebody who carries himself with pride and assumes that impression that he knows it all, and therefore he ends up undermining himself in his own utterances. Be brief on that.
In his statement after attacking Dr. Dami,
be brief on that.
yes,
1 minute.
He said President Akufo-Addo determines criminal prosecutions, not the Attorney General, because the Attorney General had said that they were they were not going to of prosecutions. That's just after saying that. The next paragraph, he comes to say that the president unconstitutionally assumed the status of the Attorney General of Ghana and shockingly said inter alia on the members of parliament double salary cases as the follows. And he quotes what the president said.
So, Charles.
And so in one breath, you are saying that the president, per the setup and the constitution, determines which cases should be prosecuted. In another breath, you've taken him on when he said that he wasn't going to prosecute the double salaries.
Be brief on it. I need some 3 minutes to read messages.
That's
I have 4
fine.
minutes left,
so
you can imagine.
This man's integrity cannot be doused by anybody. No amount of quoting, repetition of what people have said will dim the light of Martin Amidu. I have joined issues with his appointment, but not what he does, not what he says. This man is telling us that, look, as far as I know, to the extent that I have been closer to President Akufo-Addo, to the extent that he has given me his assurance that he was going to stand by me day and night, by rain or shine. These were some of the things we have discussed in the closet. I'm just thinking that it is appropriate for me to let the whole nation know. So if he's putting it in writing and telling us that, look, if he's putting it in writing and telling us that, look, these were the issues. He said he didn't even know about the double salary issue, and that it was reported in a certain daily guide.
Okay, so the same Martin Amidu has also said that the things he said about John Mahama, it was hearsay and he didn't have. So the same Martin Amidu can be seen as a half bottle or half filled glass or so on.
You should have.
Let me do some text messages here.
As if what Sami said is the truth and nothing but the truth.
Okay.
He was comfortable.
I want to
there were times that
I want to be fair to my. So this one, a year ban on mining is not enough. Galamsey and community mining should be scrapped for good and let the land, rivers, beaches a sign of relief. This one came from Ablade in Efia Kuma. This one says, God bless TV XYZ. I'm so excited that these programs really give space for people to speak their mind. This one is it's not part of the message. Mukaila Jonah says, please ask Okujeto Ablakwa whether Mahama also went through same enjoyment of chartering flights, etc. You should stop the politics of comics and selective agenda. Did Mahama use Aboboya to travel to abroad? I'll make some of the messages short because of time. From Otumfuo, the convener of Crossfire Ghana, dear MPP foot soldiers, stop attacking the media houses, authorities in education, and well-meaning Ghanaians who are criticizing the poor implementation of the free SHS project. Eben from Kwabenya says, is Ghana owing President Akufo-Addo and his family, or what is wrong that we have done to vote for him to lead us? The wickedness of this president must stop. I'll do some 3 quick ones, then we close. Masawudu says, Ghanaians are expecting more from His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, and we surely believe him that he will deliver exceedingly. Boshaba says, Ghanaians should change their attitude and support the president to fight Galamsey. Mustafa from Lower Manya-Krobo says, to be honest, Akufo-Addo is worsening the pride of Ghanaians day in and day out. The government is not willing to rule the country. His agenda is to enrich himself and his family. Then finally, will Ghana to their unborn children. Let me do the last one. So many text messages. Unfortunately, we don't. I didn't give much time to your apologies here. A president that is going about seeking for debt pardon should not be engaging in needless, extravagant expenditure. So that's how I want us to end our show. I'll give you 20 seconds if you can say hi to somebody.
Let's pray for our president that you have sense of modesty and cut short some of these extravagant expenditures.
Okay, so I think I said same message to somebody and you are going somewhere. So I think I want to.
Say he wants, but let me greet my mom.
Okay, so greetings to your mom.
In Obuase.
Peter si ochiao. Ahane de ejumadi ani besi. Ochina ebesi eshia. Sorry, Joda ebeshia na ifida menye Peter eshia biom. Bye for now.